Alright, we've just completed our first dupe. Give yourself a pat on the back for that one. We've got one more to do. But for right now, we'll take a break from the complicated setups and the abstract manipulating of the game's code. And we'll just do a classic run-through of Outrider. So, we're on our way back from Jizzy's Club, where we turned in T-Bone Mendez. Of course, we turned it in twice because of the dupe, and that means we don't have to do Mike Torino, which would be the next mission taking place at Jizzy's Casino, and instead we just head right back to the garage and do some Outrider. Here we go. You can skip this phone call and save your game if you like. Go ahead and take the mission. Gonna have to skip this phone call here. Starts when you start the mission. As you can see, my bike is gone. If you want to prevent that from happening, just park your bike next to the marker. Get off it so that you land in the marker, and then after you've triggered the mission, spam your enter vehicle button to get back onto the bike, and you'll have retained it and kept it from despawning. I got pretty lucky with a bike, but you just take the train tracks there and head towards the Washington sitting here, which has got Torino and T-Bone Mendez, I think, in there as well. And we're going to cruise on over to the van's location. We have to protect this van as it takes a really obtuse route through the city instead of heading straight for its destination for whatever reason. We're going to encounter a bunch of roadblocks. Get on the bike and pick up the weapons. Getting on the bike triggers the van, and we want that to happen as quickly as possible. And you can break the fence off to the right, come down here, and pick up this NRG. The most famous NRG spawn in the game. If there are even other NRG spawns, use this one a lot for 100%. Like, so much for 100%. But it's really convenient for us here. A lot faster than the Sanchez, so highly recommended. You don't have to stay next to the van or anything. You just go on ahead and blow up all these roadblocks in order. I like to use the rockets from afar here. You got 3 cars to break and 4 dudes to shoot at this one. Sniper rifle coming in handy there, and as soon as everything that's marked is dead or exploded, you can head on to the next one. I parked this, actually no. I get the body armor here, which is really smart. You get the body armor. Also, really important, get this chainsaw. Really important that you grab that chainsaw. Go ahead and blow up the dudes. You get your AK here. Get your AK going on. Also really important to get AKs here. You're going to need that later. So, you know, just cleaning up the roadblocks here. Shooting that with a shotgun until it's on fire. Coming around here. Braining the last guy. Grab his AK if you like. And then drop down. Back on the NRG. Pretty standard mission. Nothing fancy going on here. Just grab the chainsaw and grab some AKs. You can also come over here. Blow up these dudes. Get some more AK ammo if you like. You really only need about 120. Is what I'm comfortable with. Blow up the Greenwoods. Blow up that guy. You can be real liberal with your rocket launcher ammo as well, because you've got like, I don't know, 20 of it maybe? Be sure to save one, at least one, for Torino's last flight. Save more if you're not comfortable with the setup that we're going to use during that mission, which of course we'll see later. And then after this roadblock, you are good to go. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the van to get to its destination. It's not under attack or anything. There's no threats. But garage or store your NRG there. And I like to look around for cop bikes while I'm waiting. Also, a good thing to do is to grab another NRG. It wastes you no time at all to just head down here and grab another NRG. And of course, like I said, if I encounter any cop bikes, I'll be stealing those and storing them alongside the first NRG, because that is going to play an important role after Torino's last flight. When we get into the desert section, we're going to be doing a very complicated, very important glitch to do in order to complete this run with the way we are doing it. So I'm just looking around for cop bikes. There's one. And here's another. You cannot get a wanted star on this mission, so that's why I could just take this bike and store it, and the cop doesn't even care. Because you are scripted to not be able to have a wanted level at any point during this mission. Alright, the van's now approaching its destination, so I just head on over there. Sometimes the guys on the sidewalks here, the pedestrians, if you will, can block your van's path, which is a little annoying. But for now, it remains clear. You just sit in the compound as it pulls in, and that's the mission passed as quickly as you can do it. And now we are on to Snail Trail. You've got 3 wanted stars after that mission, so the first order of business is to save your game. Then take this phone call. It's going to pop up after I save the game. I almost shoot it away, but then I realized, yeah, I need to take this. And then I want you to look at your time in the top right. So for me, it is 9 o'clock, essentially, right now. Your time can be a little different depending on how long it's taken you to get to this point, how many saves you've made, also. And because Ice Cold Killer is a mission where you can only activate it between the hours of 20 and 6, we're going to have to set our time at an appropriate window so that when we arrive to Ice Cold Killer, it is in fact between the hours of 20 and 6. I think an appropriate window for this is between the hours of 11 and 17. So time advance is 6 hours every time you save. So just save your game until you can get between the hours of 11 and 17. For me, I'm just going to save once and get to 15. And then we start Snail Trail. Boy, oh boy, is this mission great. Go ahead, take your NRG. You got to get the sniper rifle nearby. After you get the sniper rifle, the train will spawn and approach the station. So what you're going to have to do is get on your bike very quickly, make it back down to Cranberry Station, jump off near the platform, and then get on the train. You can skip driving to LS. You can skip following the train. Just get on it. Spam W until the fade out happens. And then when you see the LS station, bail out. Wait until you see the LS station. Trust me. Because I've bailed out before the fade out has completed. And then I've failed the mission. Essentially. Because the train just speeds off. And I'm still in San Fierro, sad and alone. I use this time here, after you run up to the surface, to find a bike. A BF is pretty good, BF 400. If you don't have a cop bike, if you did not get a cop bike during Outrider, if you don't have one in your garage, you need to get one here. So just look around. You got a lot of time until the reporter comes up to the surface and gets attacked. So you've got a lot of time to just find a cop bike. I think I eventually find one, and I just take it for posterity's sake. But you've got a lot of waiting to do. So it's a real good time to get a cop bike. There's one right there. It drives away, but I think I'd turn around and get one here. After you get the cop bike, you should probably find a police bribe. I always like getting the one that's up the road from here. It's actually in the direction of where the reporter will go. There are 3 different routes that the cab can take. And of course, this mission can take a lot of time, occasionally, depending on how many lights the cab is stopped at and the route that it takes. There's a fair bit of RNG involved here. So right now, I'm just trying to avoid getting shot. I think I run someone over during this, like, you know, spinning around the cop, which is not very wise. I don't know why I was doing this. I was just trying to avoid getting shot. But then you head right down here, and there's your bribe. Go ahead and take it. Be wary. Sorry, be wary. That's the correct word. Be wary of how far away from the target you are. You don't want to be too close, and you can fail if you get too far away. So just find the happy medium. Keep an eye on your meter on the right. It's easy to forget about it. The game only prompts you the first time you're in range of the cab to back off. The text only comes up once. Then, after that, your only reference, if you're too close, is the meter on the right. So, just keep an eye on it. So that way you don't spook the reporter and then fail the mission because you were absent-mindedly following too close. I've done that a couple times. I've also rammed into the side of that building here and gotten a little far away, but that's okay. We can catch up pretty quickly. It doesn't lose time. Like I said, it's entirely dependent on how quickly the cab makes it to the pier. Nothing you can really influence. So here we go. We're approaching the pier now. I take this shot pretty far back. You can get closer if you're not very comfortable with shooting from a long distance. There is bullet travel in this game, and the sniper is quite frankly bullshit and doesn't seem to always connect with its target. But here we go, we're waiting. You're going to want to shoot the reporter on the left first. I wait a couple seconds so that the target's in view. And then the target should run towards you. And you can quite easily just shoot him from there. Get the two guys gunned down. And you're on your merry way. This is another part of the run where I want you to avoid getting cop attention, because you're going to want to start the trucking side mission while you have a phone call coming in. Remember what we did earlier with the Blood Bowl arena? We're going to do the same thing here, but with trucking. So I start and cancel Vigilante here, and then make sure you park on this bridge. That's very important. So after canceling Vigilante, I have 15 seconds to make it to this marker. I'm hauling ass, as you can see. I was a little tight on it, and I have to walk into the marker and immediately start the pause buffering. And then you can hear the phone ring there. When you hear the phone ring, stop pause buffering. And it's easy as that. And then plant a satchel charge next to the truck. Doesn't have to be on the truck, just next to it. And then drive back to the garage in San Fierro. Again, the process for starting trucking with your phone ringing. You can either start and stop Vigilante, wait 15 seconds, and then start pause buffering in the marker the way I did. Or you can get off your bike, shoot your weapon, or a weapon, wait 15 seconds, and then, once again, pause buffer in the marker. It's really not that difficult. It's a little confusing at first, I know, but the process itself is pretty easy to do. So we just have this bit of a long drive here, back to San Fierro. This is a pretty safe route. It looks fucking nuts, but it's not that hard to pull off if you have a bike. So what we're going to do when we're back at the garage is we're going to get off this bike. Our phone is going to ring. And we're going to want to start holding that phone call and then blow up the satchel charge. And after we do that, we should be able to take Ice Cold Killer with no issue. So what you're going to see is me getting off the bike, holding tab, detonating the satchel charge, and then getting on the NRG. So there we go. Mission failed. That is important to have. Got to blow up that truck in order for this to work. Go ahead and grab your NRG from earlier and start Ice Cold Killer holding your call. You're going to take the call after you skip the cutscene. That's totally normal. So just cancel the call and get back on your bike and head to Jizzy's, we gotta pay him a visit. And we're gonna be using this NRG for the next couple missions here. So make sure you park it in the appropriate places where I park it to ensure that you do not despawn it on accident. You can despawn it here on Ice Cold Killer. You can despawn it very easily on Pier 69. And it's a very handy tool. Really speeds up the travel time here. So we need to preserve it as best as we can. So the standard route back to Jizzy's. You can park this in like the middle of the parking lot here. Get off, your phone's gonna ring. That's normal. Just shoot his Broadway 6 times. I shoot it on the door. It's a pretty easy target for me to hit. Shoot 6 times. It's gonna injure it quite a bit. Make sure it's actually on the car too. Don't like hit the tire or anything. I like to wait up there until the phone starts ringing again. And then just drop down here. Once you get inside. Jizzy's gonna run. That's fine. Find the door and exit. During the door fade out, switch your weapon to your sniper. And we're going to slow-mo this here. Scope immediately. And shoot the broad side of his Broadway. And let's take a minute to look at the situation. We've shot his Broadway. It's on fire. He's bailed out. We only had to shoot it once because we shot it 6 times earlier. And the 7th shot ignited it. And after unscoping from my rifle, my phone started ringing. You can see in the top left the prompt. And I also pulled out my AK. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold tab. And then I'm going to right click. And I'll start shooting automatically because I'm holding tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot his gas tank. I do that in an attempt to try and kill him, but he's too far from the explosion. So I'm going to have to gun him down anyway. And we're doing this entire process holding tab, which is going to hold our phone call, and then when we scope with right-click, it's going to be firing our weapon. But we'll still be holding our call the entire time. Then I have to shoot this guy, because, you know, he's in my way. Keep holding tab. Pick up the phone. Keep holding tab. This cutscene will play. Spam F. Keep holding tab. Not letting go at any time. Get on your bike. Keep holding tab. Is this getting annoying yet? Even if it is, you better still be holding tab. Don't make me get up out my seat and whoop your ass. Alright, anyway. Just drive to Pier 69. Of course, while holding tab. It's a little hard to see at this time of day here with this weather. But try not to hit any vehicles. Park, like, right here. Like I said, parking is very important here. Keep holding tab, skip the cutscene, get on your bike, and let go of tab. And then drive your NRG up here into this corner. Honestly, get it a little closer than I did just now. That's kind of dangerous where I parked it. I'm surprised it didn't despawn, but I'm pretty lucky that it did not. Then approach Caesar, gun down these 6 dudes. After you finish with all of them, unscope and your phone should ring. Skip the cutscene, get back on your bike. Before you do that, start holding tab, like I'm doing right now. And keep holding tab. We're going to let go of tab at a very particular time right here. Alright, this is the exact frame I let go of tab. I like to let go right when the building juts out a little bit closer to the pier. I let go a little late this time. Nonetheless, it's still a pretty good reference point. I think it would be good to use. But this is exactly the frame I let go. And what's going to happen next is we're going to run over T-Bone Mendez. Skip the cutscene as fast as possible. And then run up to the pier. Equip our sniper rifle and scope. Hang 10. Run over T-Bone. Skip. Run up. Sniper rifle out. Shoot Ryder once. Wait a few seconds. Shoot him again. Then when you descope, start holding tab. Then get on your bike. Easy, right? Easy peasy. And then we're just gonna shoot this gun for like ever. Can't really do anything about that. This mission gives you this weapon. And, you know, just try not to hit anybody. Try not to get a 1-star. Just be very cautious until the ammo is depleted. And then you can speed it up with the lean forwards. And there you go. So we're heading to Torino's last flight now. The last mission of San Fierro. The more acute viewer might notice we've not done a single Woozy mission. And we're not going to. Because we can skip everything Woozy has to offer in San Fierro by duping Torino's last flight. Because it unlocks the first mission in the desert when you dupe Torino's last flight. Alright, so here we are. What we're going to do, it's very easy to dupe, actually. Just walk to the marker while holding tab. And then wait a couple seconds, let go of tab. Start spamming F to skip the phone calls. And try to be standing in the marker so that you can dupe it in the cutscene. If you can't dupe it in the cutscene, don't worry too much. It just costs a couple seconds. You have to skip this phone call twice, I think. But Torino's last flight, very quick mission. Very painless. Again, using our NRG, our handy-dandy NRG that we've kept with us like a trusty steed. Our Excalibur, if you will. Here we go. Just cruise on up. I like to park it right around here. And then run into the stairwell like this. That'll trigger this cutscene. 2 helicopters, because we've duped it. And now pull out your rocket launcher and line it up just like this. Alright, so we're using this window on the building here for our lineup. We're using specifically the bottom right corner here. You can see the way it lines up with the bottom of the window, the horizontal bit, and then the vertical bit lines up with this second black line on the window. This is exactly where you want to put your reticle, and then you're going to want to wait until a specific point. So the helicopter is going to turn, and when it's right above this concrete barrier, you're going to want to fire. This is the exact frame that I fire, right here, when it's sitting right above this concrete barrier. This is an excellent lineup. I don't think I've ever missed this shot using this lineup here. So you're going to want to wait until the helicopter blows up, and you can run up here. Grab these rockets. That's important. You can also grab this AK if you like, if you're running low on ammo. But please, please, please grab the rockets. Really important. And of course the AK-47 if you're not grabbed enough ammo from Outrider. Cruise on over here to the pier. We were here during photo opportunity. Answer this phone call. Take it. It's very important. If you answer the phone call earlier during Snail Trail, you'll have this little question mark on your minimap. If you don't, just stand there at the pier and wait for another phone call to come in. Watch out for the rocks. Do a better job than I. And when you cruise over to this marker, you should get 4 wanted stars. This is because, even though we've unlocked the mission by duping Torino's last flight, we haven't actually unlocked the area. The mission Yay Kaboom Boom does that. So, save your game if you like. But we are now out of San Fierro. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We will continue this next time. We will tackle the 4-star wanted level that we have because we are, you know, in territory that is technically locked, even though we have a mission here. And I hope you'll join me for that. Thanks again. See you next time.